playing so well in women's doubles as well. Federico in 3 semifinals. I think they're coming with a lot of energy and confidence, so it's going to be great.
No doubt about it. So here we go. Etta Wright will get us started. Let's play pickleball. And Etta got us started, but not for very long. So
0-0-1.
Rachel, why don't you get us started?
Second serve.
All right, row.
Maybe a little bit of nerves, you know. It's not always easy. It's
0-0-2.
Big crowd here.
It's massive. Love it. And just a beautiful two-handed backhand, blows it past Alshon.
Yeah, great shot. Again, that was one of the key factors yesterday as well. Their defense was great, playing long points all the time.
Line out.
Again, I want to see more points like that. As you could see, Etta was trying to do an early, trying to put a lot of pressure to let Christian insert himself. That's going to be key as well.
Beautiful point by Fed, and as you mentioned, he's already made the final in singles. He's got this match, and he is not done for the day.
That's
he's
right.
got men's doubles that Jay and I will be calling later on.
Oh, a little miss hit here. He's surely having a great season. You know, again, one of the key in pickleball is to maintain that high level all year round, and he has been definitely an amazing player this year.
Beautiful finish. What's changed in his game to raise him up? He was in the group just below the top. Now he's in the top group.
I think he's putting a lot of work. He's always trying to improve. He looks a lot to the matches where he struggles, and he tried to fix the errors. And a lot of players kind of just follow like their routine and things like that instead of, you know, finding ways to always evolve their game. And I feel like that's what he has been really good at. He's finding he has a big team. He's always looking for answers. So again, that's why he's at that level at that moment.
Wow, what a one-handed backhand. Just tags Etta, who was trying to slide and find a backhand.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you can see Christian falling in the middle a lot. He doesn't want to get into very long points so far.
Etta says, get that the heck out of here.
One hand. This is definitely an amazing counter. Wow.
And wow from that shot from Etta, and wow from this look from the drone. Look at this. Just unbelievable. Packed in here. We've got all the angles for you. Can't thank you enough for being with us on a Saturday afternoon.
Second serve.
This is a pattern that we are going to see a little bit more, I believe, like the cross-court dink between Rachel and Etta. Etta is slicing the dink, and Rachel is rolling the dink. So in two different game styles, but I do believe that that pattern needs to happen more often for Federico and Rachel in order for them to win that match.
Yeah, and if it's sliced to topspin, the ball continues to spin in the same direction, so we just keep cranking the RPMs.
Yeah, it's harder, in my opinion, to counter with a slice, a strong roll. So again, if someone rolls the ball really well, then you're in trouble. You're always pushed. So it's hard to maintain that consistency at times.
Second serve.
So again, I think that's what it favors the game of Federico and Rachel a little bit. So I would love to see that pattern a little bit more.
2-1-2.
At least for that first game.
Way too high on the third and can't get near the kitchen. So lots of play, but very few points scored. Alshon and Wright get the ball back at 1-2, and a little wet on Friday. Well, a lot wet. We had a monsoon. And it is Chamber of Commerce weather here. Just mint conditions for pickle. What a get from Alshon. Oh, no.
Second serve.
I don't think that caught. He's one of those guys that tries to scream his way into a call.
You see it, you make a call. Out call stance.
So.
Okay. That ball's good, Jay.
It looks like it.
Wow, so another overrule, as you mentioned, a couple in the last match. And Jay, as a player, are you thinking about using the video and holding a timeout for that? Does that even enter your head, or what's your thought process there?
You know, I do believe that it's been a great addition to the sport because, you know, at the speed we're playing now, it's really hard to make the right call over and over, and it gives that doubt that we used to have. We don't have to focus about that anymore. We just challenge it. So I feel like when I'm sure, I will challenge it for sure. And if I'm not sure and it's a big point and I don't want to have any regrets, I would challenge as well.
After video review, the out call's overturned. The ball was in. 2 timeouts. 2 timeouts.
So a great challenge, it looks like.
At point 2-2-1.
And that was after an unbelievable get in the corner, and then Rachel let one go that landed perfectly on the line. So they get to keep the timeout. If you're right on a challenge, you keep it 2 per game.
Or excuse me, second serve.
A little bit long.
A little bit long. I don't think we're going to need to challenge that one, Jay. If it's past the IHG Hotels and Resorts logo. Crazy scrapping there for a while, but couldn't get to the line. Yeah. So 2-2 early here.
So far, both teams have been struggling a little bit on the third. They've been mixing the drive and drop, but still not very comfy.
Two, 2-2-2. Line out.
Great point. Again, such a strong counter. We've had one hand back in. It's not easy to have the right paddle angle with one hand. That's why a lot of players have been switching to 2 hands. So really impressive to see Etta doing this.
Pulled just wide. What do you mean by right paddle angle for viewers at home that are trying to get into the mind of Jay?
Usually when you have one hand, if you're a little bit late, the paddle can face a bit towards the sky and then leads the ball to go out. So really, you have to tighten that wrist and make sure the paddle doesn't move while hitting. And when the ball is hit so fast, it can be really hard at times.
Point.
Again, I would like to see a little bit more patience in Rachel. The previous point, she sped up. Here, she's missing dink. It's they need to get into that web they want, where they're trapping their opponent to play long points, and then they can have more execution like that last point here.
And then she can just invite Etta to the tattoo parlor and just tagger there.
That's
wow.
right, because when you're rolling with that topspin forehand to someone that is slicing, if they're a little bit early or short hopping it, it can go high and then set you up for a great success to put it away.
Aggressive fourth from Fed. You got to have footwork to do that.
Yes, and that's one thing he has done so much better. He's quicker to get to the line, which gave him more offense. A little bit high by Christian. Again, I feel like Christian is not in his groove yet. When he's really like locked in, he doesn't miss third shot, doesn't miss his drive that often, miss dink like that kind of casual. I feel like this is just the beginning of the match. Once he gets in the groove, he's going to play much more solid pickleball.
That's bad news for Rohrabacher and Staksrud, who trailed despite that. And 4-all. Man, the lateral movement there, Jay.
Yeah, I like that. As you know, I like to move on the court as well. And, you know, Rachel is very aware of his court position as well, setting it up a lot for success like that. It's great to watch.
Second serve.
They're not sure. I wouldn't mind seeing the close call replay. I think that caught the back edge.
Looked like him from here.
4-4-2.
And can't find the third, so knotted at 4.
Yeah, she was a little bit late. I would like to see her hit the ball out in front a little bit more.
Second serve.
Full paddle clank. Hey, folks, all you got to do is talk.
Communication is key.
English, French, whatever.
As you know, Franglish works for me. 11 years in the States, I'm still learning.
Mine still works. Oh my, what a little flick by Christian to get him something and couldn't get the backhand reloaded.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit surprised that the counter of Federico was that high. His paddle was a little bit too low.
4-4-1.
That's why he was a little bit late.
Second serve.
Etta doing a much better job on that dink. Again, she's trying to take the ball out of the air to redirect down the line, to not let Federico introduce himself, so that's great. She's already making adjustments.
And Alshon's everywhere. First volley from Etta was terrific, though, to get that started.
That's right.
So it is a tug of war here. 4-4. No one's given any ground.
Yeah, I just feel like for Etta and Alshon, for Chris, like they need to just have a better third, and then they will have better success to win points on their serve, because they're playing pretty well on returns for now.
So Rohrabacher goes from full swing to a reset, which is hard to do.
It is very hard. I don't do that well on resets personally.
Why reset when you can counter and swing away, baby?
Second serve.
There's the toughest dink in the game off the left foot of the right side player back cross court.
5-4-2.
This is where, when you have a good partner on the left, take that ball. We see a lot Ben and Colin doing that.
We won't see them doing that anymore in this tournament, however.
That's right.
Wow.
What a reset.
Side out.
My goodness, they didn't talk, and Etta was going for a backhand overhead, and Christian hit a regular overhead. That could have been ugly.
That's right, but I'm more impressed by the get of Federico that stayed at the line and reset it like, oh, don't worry about it. That's easy, easy ball, easy ball.
He's hitting overhead to me, and I feel fine.
Second serve.
Again, a great take here from Christian. I would like to see Rachel being a little bit more aggressive, wider sometimes. I know she's trying to find the left foot, but if she doesn't change that pattern, then Christian will be able to introduce himself more. So again, like, it's important to know your strategy, but also, you know, once in a while, like, changing and pushing your opponents in different positions so they don't get just used to it, right?
Sure, and then you got to throw it behind him on the ground too, because he is straddling the center line, if not even a step farther. You've never done that, Jay.
No, never.
Point.
Great hands by Christian. Again, he saw that Federico was not that close to the kitchen line. More time to attack him. What a get.
Just unbelievable. Etta Wright goes inside out down the line and you can get everything. And folks, that's the drone flying at like 12 feet above everybody. I love this.
Second serve.
Great patience here. I feel like Federico has become one of the best players. We've had one-hand flick.
7-4-2.
Ben and JW Johnson are very good at it, but he's up there as well now.
Yeah, because J-Dub's got that flick wizard moniker. So he gets the #1. If you're a wizard, you get the #1 spot.
Yeah, I agree. I might have jinxed it right now. Yeah, I don't know if you would.
Yes. And we got a video board brightness.
Can we have the video board reset here, please?
So we're going to make sure that the visuals are there. You can lose the ball in the video board.
Yeah. Well, you know, these kind of technical issues sometimes can break your momentum when you're winning several points in a row. I feel like Christian and Etta were on a strike here, so hopefully, you know, it's like a timeout, a mini timeout.
We're icing the kicker here, Fed is with this call here, but he wants to be able to see, so that's being brought down. And my goodness, I'm in for the drone shots all day long. Look at this.
Yeah, it's seeing that crowd also.
Spectacular.
Spectacular.
It's the biggest event in the history of our sport, Jay.
That's right. That's right. And I'm not even playing it.
And that stinks.
Unbelievable.
How is that possible?
But at least I'm here.
We're thrilled to have you. Yeah, for those of you not closely following Jay, first of all, do follow him. But second of all, nursing an injury. We'll get into that in a minute, but he'll be back, don't worry, and better than ever.
Time in. 8-4-2. Point.
Just grinding it out, and Rachel makes the mistake. 9-4. It was 4-all.
Yeah, and I also feel like she's overthinking this a little bit too much right now. I would stay in that cross-court pattern. It was working at the beginning. Just get back to that play.
And then a mess in the middle there. So 6 in a row for Alshon and Wright, and we are at game point.
10-4-2.
Oh, He had the heroic walk-off Ernie right there, and it caught the tape.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. It was a little bit a technical foul, in my opinion, because he should have been earning with his forehand rather than his backhand. That's probably why it cut the net. But again, like, that was an easy put away for him.
Second serve.
Rohrabacher had a great look at the ATP, but doesn't get enough of the side of the ball and just leaves it in the gray.
4-10-2.
Jumps the corner again.
What a point. Again, 2 great reset by Federico. I'm not sure how he did get those ball back.
10-4-1.
But it was not enough.
Second game point. Oh, what chaos, and it is a fun level of chaos right there.
Another great point. Again, I don't know if you have paid attention to that, but the footwork of Etta moving back from the line and in and out was really impressive. Setting up against the Ernie for Christian, but that was not enough again.
Third try to close out game 1. Etta scrapping again, but doesn't get it done.
Four, 10-1. Second serve.
I really like how Christian is being so big on the fourth ball, trying to put a lot of pressure on Rachel. They have been returning a lot at her right now.
Off the tape again, but this time it works out well for Alshon and Wright, and they get another shot at closing this out. How many's too many where you're thinking about it, Jay?
10-4-1.
You know, it just, for me, it's more the timing when it happens, you know? Like sometimes it's more painful when it's so close towards the end or a very important point ban rather than having several in a row at non-important times.
And right there, they've said enough is enough. Game point number 4 gets it done, and Alshon and Wright rattle off the last 7 of semifinal game number 1 and look terrific doing it. Will Rohrabacher and Staksrud
rallies, set themselves up, and you know, wait for the right ball. I feel like they were a little bit too aggressive so far.
All right, back to the action, and boy, Alshon, guess what? Jumped the corner. Forehand Ernie for you there, Jay. He's listening. He understands French.
0-0-1.
You know, I do the same mistake, so I can relate very well, but it does help when you're in forehand on that side of the court. Great point, better point in my opinion. Again, Rachel did the job. She was rolling more to the middle, wider.
1-0-1.
Unfortunately, Federico was not able to finish the point, but that was a great structure point.
Second serve.
Just hits the top of the net. Yeah, I feel like the energy, Fed and Rachel can be very energetic players. Haven't seen a lot of that. Obviously, losing now 8 points in a row will do that to you. How do you find the energy when you're down?
You know, I agree with that. Like, Rachel plays so much better when she's pumped up. And, you know, when you don't win points, it's hard to get pumped up. So almost getting excited about silly points sometimes just to get the energy going. That's the best way to do it, but it's really hard when the team is like just winning points. You just don't really have any answers. So like a point like that, I would like to see her more high energy and just get something going.
And you definitely got some volume from Rachel there after that beautiful backhand flick from Fed. And Rohrabacher coming in hot there. And they are on the board, and ding dong, the streak is dead.
1-1-1. Second serve.
Man, what coverage.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a great speed up, but he was very ready.
1-1-2.
Impressive from Christian here. All right. I also think they could potentially try to return a little bit more on the outside of the court. They have been returning a lot middle. If I were Federico, I would try to find the outside of the court a little bit more, just like he did here.
Second serve.
Good look at Lee Waters. Watched her daughter make the final. Now
1-1-2.
coaching up Christian, so may have to run into that situation again if they are victorious here in game 2. Let's see how many times we can hit it off the net, Jay.
Yeah, it's happening more and more though. With this paddle, you can put a lot more top spin. Players are spinning up from lower position. So again, another one here. You get more likely to hit the net when this happens.
And you know, if it's up at all, it's going to be smacked right back at you, and you're wearing it.
Yes. Yes. So I do have a question for you, Dave. Do you think Lee is going to be cheering for Anna Lee or Christian if Christian were to win that match?
Christian has 0% chance of getting any support there. But he's going to get a lot of support after that shot. My goodness. Oh, to be tall like you, Jay. What a reach there for Alshon.
And he's reading the play very well here from Federico.
And to get the left hand, there's the advantage of the two-handed backhand on that last shot.
I know.
So they get the lead by the slimmest of margins, but at least that ugly streak is over.
Second serve.
I would like to see Rachel driving a little bit as well, because she hasn't been as sharp as she usually is on those third shot drop. So maybe to give a different look, not necessarily to change completely, but just to change the momentum a little bit. It's always great when you're like returning to have a quick side out by a miss third or third a little bit too high. You always like it releases a little bit of pressure on you.
So let's see if they do anything with it, as Wright and Alshon didn't even get to the kitchen there. Oh,
second serve.
That was a great look.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right play. It's the wrong execution.
2-1-2.
Can't get it away from him.
Yeah, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Rachel. You can see clearly their game plan is to return when Rachel and Federico are serving. They're trying to put as much pressure on Rachel to avoid the drive potentially of Federico. So again, so far it's working. That's why I would definitely take a timeout here and just have a strategy talk with my partner. Oh, wow.
What a tricky little lob from Etta there.
Short hop.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Gets it up and over Fed, who was surprised as we were.
I believe he was very surprised. Didn't expect it at all.
2-2-1. Second serve.
Great pressure from Federico, trying to insert himself as much as possible. He's not as tall as Christian, so it's a little bit harder. He has to do more work with the footwork.
Line up.
So a couple ugly balls in the midcourt for Wright and Alshon. Feels very similar to game one, only Rohrabacher and Staksrud hope the back end of it changes dramatically. See if they can make that happen.
Second serve.
Good read, but he got beat.
Yeah, great drop from Rachel. I feel like Federico has been attacking the backhand of Christian too much. So Christian is just expecting that ball to his backhand all the time now. Again, he needs to mix up the zone a little bit more.
Oh my. Oh, Fed is complaining about the shot selection of a little bit of a scoop and carry from Alshon. There will be a discussion if Fed and Rachel don't win this. They win it anyway. And Fed is roaring. So let's look at this. Alshon, desperate measures here. That seemed fine to me, one motion. And then Fed shut it down for about 1/10 of a second there, and then ends up getting the best shot of his day. So just settle in there, Fed, come on.
I do believe that point can be crucial for them. It was great energy after that, so let's see if they can keep the momentum and strike a few more points after that.
3-2-2.
I mean, got what she wanted and got in front of it.
I have bad bunions. Wish they'd disappear.
Lapiplasty.
Sup? Future me? And no bunions! How?
Lapiplasty.
Lapiplasty corrects bunions at the source, meaning you're back in sneakers in weeks.
Lapiplasty.
Weeks! The future of bunion surgery is here. Learn more at lapiplasty.com. Risks include infection, pain, and loss of correction.
Special folks.
Bring the video board, please.
I already downloaded mine, by the way.
As did I. Yours? Oh, you better believe it, sir.
Thank you.
I'm rocking that out.
Time in. 2-3-1.
Great job by Christian, putting a lot of pressure, forcing that deep dink at the feet of Rachel, leading to that pop-up. Another net court.
I know.
Great drop.
The margins are that thin, and you know it.
4-3-1.
What did you say just a second ago? Just repeat it.
It's not going their way right now.
Timeout, receiving team 5-3-1.
A good timeout from Federico. Just 2 bad points, just unlucky. They had the lead, now they're down 5-3. It's, you know, at that point, you just want to stop the momentum, try to get a quick side out and get the ball back in your hand.
And I think the big thing here is we did see a team call timeout.
Once you get that momentum again, go down the line on things like that.
Love it.
Second serve.
A little bit high here. Great timeout from Federico and Rachel. Let's see if they can get that ball back now.
5-3-2. Line up.
Not my favorite mid-court shot there at all.
Short hopping. Again, this is new to me. Like a lot of players are doing it more and more. I like to take my time, hit it clean to drop better, but again, every player nowadays is trying to get offense by taking the ball early and putting more pressure like that. So maybe I'm a little bit old school for that.
Start short hopping, Jay. Oh, pretty back through the middle.
And I did like that drive from Rachel to mix it up. That gave them an easier fifth after that and get them to the kitchen line. So
4-5-2.
props to her to make that adjustment.
Wow, and Rachel just hammers it cross court and beats Etta with pace.
Yeah, and Christian has been very successful the few times earlier than that, but here she's sitting more forehand, letting Federico cover the middle a bit more with his forehand as well. Great shot selection by Rachel.
Hate to give it back in that fashion, but we're back and tied at 5. It was 4-all in game 1, 7 straight from Alshon and Wright. Now we're at 5 apiece.
Second serve. Five, 5-2.
Great drive from Christian. Again, when you're in a stacking position, it's always hard like to get to your corner on time. If your return is a little bit short, you know you're gonna get drived on. So important side out, as you can see.
Yeah.
You can see the energy level rising from Rachel and Federico.
5-6-1.
Bump the volume button over there because it is much louder and necessary.
Great speed up from Rachel. The previous time she had been speeding to the forehand. Now finding the backhand, better shot selection, because if Christian goes cross court, it goes back to Federico.
6-6-1.
Great hands again from Federico. I would take a timeout if I were Etta and Christian.
Yeah.
Right now that, you know, we're getting closer to the finish line.
7-6-1.
Either this one or the next one.
Second serve.
Off the tape, and a lot of people just lose their minds and overswing at that. So nice adjustment from Alshon. Can they get the ball back on a 2 here, or will Rohrabacher and Staksrud add to the lead?
Who are you referring to?
Myself. No one from France. The big dudes from France, they settle that down and just hit it on the ground most.
6-7-1.
I'm sure.
You're kind to say most of the time.
I've probably called you out on you doing it. I admit it.
Great drop.
Wow, and Alshon rocks it back through the middle. Jay, when you're playing mixed and you see the cross-court dink battle between the ladies, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the right opportunity, and sometimes, for at least for the man, it's really hard to know when is the right opportunity. Sometimes you overplay, sometimes you underplay. I'm this kind of player that tends to overplay at times. But, you know, again, you don't want to be too passive, but not too aggressive either. So that's where really the key is. The best mixed double player, they're so good at reading the point and knowing when to take the ball and when not to.
And the Etta Wright Lob Factory is on point again, up and over and in. And guess what? Alshon and Wright have grabbed the lead back.
I'm definitely taking notes on those.
Yeah, you get a lot of value up here. Just, I see your iPad there. Start writing some of this down,
I
Jay.
am writing. I'm writing, taking notes.
Are you writing in French or English?
In French.
Okay,
like
that's what I thought.
If someone steal my iPad, at least I have those notes secured.
I had no idea what you wrote down right there. Oh, man.
Second serve.
In the middle.
Can't happen.
It does happen. I don't know how many tournaments they have played together.
Just a couple.
I think it's 2,
Yep.
I believe.
Yep,
so
9 and 2.
Yeah, so I do believe that's also part of it. But
8-7-2.
again, they're playing really well together.
Yep, this is their 3rd tournament together, and it's been terrific. Boy, nice inside out. And necessary. So they stop it at 8. So they get the ball back trailing 1. Must have this, or they will be staring at the bronze medal.
Serves bigger here.
Point.
Wow.
Great point. Yeah, Federico has been doing that in the quarterfinal. He was serving really aggressive, driving and trying to close, trying to play as big as he can.
8-8-1.
Man, Etta's not expecting that from a low position to come all the way across her body.
Yeah, no, a strange speed up, but again, like she saw that Etta was not at the right position, so
Timeout receiving
this
team.
is really important to
9-8-1.
recognize definitely when it was possible. Now I'm looking at the next one.
You had your shot.
Net court.
Wow. Alshon tags Fed. Unbelievable. He's smiling about it.
Sure, he's not very excited about it.
No.
I wonder if he touched the net.
It had, no, it doesn't look like it.
8-9-1.
Clean hit. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, man, just deceleration. That was wild.
A little bit tight. Again, I would like to see his drive, especially when they're in a stacking position. Christian drives very well. Might do it here.
Rachel Rohrabacher just firing away and then roaring. No one has a better last name than her.
I agree. I definitely enjoy watching her play.
9-8-1.
Not playing against her as much.
Second serve.
Can't get to the kitchen, though. They've had a couple of shots to get to that all-important 10th point.
9-8-2.
Yeah, again, I would like to see a drive just to get maybe a 5th drop after that, especially when she's on the 1.
Unbelievable counter by Etta before Christian jumped in there.
Yeah, and you could see how Etta stepped back a little bit just to give herself more time to counter. Again, great footwork from Etta. This is something that we don't talk enough about, how the top female pro
8-9-1.
always have their instinct to back up and move forward again.
This time Alshon does drive it and then just throws an ugly 5th into the middle of the net and then looks over at Lee Waters, and Lee's advice is make
8-9-2.
it.
Don't miss it. Respect the net.
And they grind out a point, and it's 99.
Yeah, great shot selection by Etta, moving the dink around,
9-9-2.
finding her zones in the court. Smart play.
Point.
Big
Great
drive. And
Match
we
point.
are at match point. Chance to play for a
10-9-2.
title tomorrow. And that is exactly what they will do. Etta Wright and Christian Alshon are gonna go for gold here at the World Championships. They run out game 1, and then they find their best stuff at the end of game 2. They've only lost twice, but it's to the team they're gonna play tomorrow for a title, but they are something special. Etta Wright, Christian Alshon will be heading to the pickleballcentral.com desk when we come back.
In the world of tomorrow, sustainable and desirable, reconciling human progress